And we're back. Once again, I have hit technical difficulties, because of course, this is me, this is one of my series, and I cannot go one series without having one technical difficulties or multiple technical difficulties. And now, the first thing that comes to your mind is, it's because you forgot to record the race. Actually, no, that's not the case. In fact, I even quadruple checked that I was recording, so that was not a problem. So you forgot to record your race then? No. Well, I was quadruple checking that if I was recording. I also checked if my voice was working, so that I actually enabled my microphone on OBS, so that wasn't a problem. Then what was the issue? The issue was that when it came time to show the standings, the final standings of the race, I only showed the top 12 before pressing continue by accident. So I couldn't get a thumbnail, I couldn't show the rest of the standings, and because of that, I decided to cancel that recording and reschedule the race at Monza at a later date. So of course, the question is where we're going to race instead of Monza, and the answer is we're going to race at Sochi. Now, I had an idea that that you actually use Sochi, but I scrapped it, and I'm going to talk about it during the race. But yeah, in the meantime, as for the championship, last time at Catalunya, our winning streak came to an end, and we're still leaders. Sofia is in second, Noel is in third, Serge is in fourth, and Christian is in fifth. And then after that, it's all the rest of the drivers. So yeah, we're still. I mean, we cannot. We can still sort of afford a top like. I'll finish at sort of top 5, but it's better if I actually, get on the podium for this race, if not even win. But yeah, with all that being said, also it's been a while since I've raced a Sochi for obvious reasons, so that will be fun to know how this track drives around how the AI, how this track feels in this game. So yeah, with all that being said, so you have to qualifying, folks. Yeah, we are starting at 6 because I screwed up qualifying, and we got 1 light, 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, and we're off at Sochi. Okay, good, kind of a decent launch. There's Al on the outside as Adrian looks to overtake me as well. Here comes turn 1, easy through here. But if you want to count the kink as turn 1, we're in 4th, side by side with Al. Al's gonna take the position. We're gonna pass them. We are back to 4th. We got the Red Bulls and the Mercedes of Sofia, I think it was. Because this is the corner that actually messed up my qualifying. Sausage curbs, I remember those. Ooh, okay. Hey, damn it. Definitely too far away to try and attack. And in the meantime, that was lap number 1. We have Fernandez trapped, and you know what? Oh, no! Shit. Well, never mind. And Mercedes, but we could actually potentially get him into turn 1/2. And the answer is going to be yes. There we go.
Great move, great move.
Up to third. Next up is the other rebel and Christian. And I said this a long time ago, but I'm honestly sad that we never got to visit the Gora Drive. I would have loved to drive around that track, and chances are we are probably never going back to Russia. Not after all the once the you know what has been settled. That shit. Once this dust is settled, it's going to take a very long time for Russia to retake the credibility, the world's to retake the world's trust, and by that point, I'm pretty sure Russia will be long gone from Formula One's horizons. Which I assume a lot of people are probably not gonna be that upset about or sad because, yeah, this truck wasn't like the best one. I mean, the races here were a bore fest. I will say that much. Except for what, the race in 2021 where Norris could have won the race, but then had a backhaul of the pits. Rather his where McLaren had a bad call. But yeah. As for the plan that was talking about the intro, there's a version of this track on overtake.gg/race department. And also on the, I believe on the 2024 mod for this game, that reskins, DRS in the meantime, reskins this track as the Las Vegas Street Circuit. And I've done like a hot lap around it just for fun, and it looks amazing. The creator, Cole Phelps, I think it's called, is also on the F1 Modern Disco community. He has done an amazing job at making the track look like it's actually in Las Vegas. And honestly, I was thinking of using that for the race. So of course the question is why I didn't do it, and that is because, well, as you can see, the ideal line is all in black. Because it's one of the issues that the Super Season mod that I'm also using has. That it turns the ideal line from, green, red, and orange to completely black. Of course, since Vegas is a night race, black on black, I cannot see shit. So I had to scrap that idea. And yes, I know I said that there's the actual street course, Las Vegas street circuit for this game, but the AI, I mean the vanilla AI doesn't work there, so or rather it works, but it's super slow, and that would have been a super easy win. So I decided to not bother, at least for now. Also, Russia was originally in the schedule, but then I replaced it with Jerez, the slot that was of the race in Russia. I gave it to Jerez. So for this purposes, I'm just bringing back a track that should have been on the calendar before I took it off. And if you want to know which race I replaced for the one at Monza, I replaced the race of the Netherlands, that one that's supposed to take place at Alkmaar / Reskinned Silverstone.
Good pace. Carry on with the job you're doing.
And I'm potentially going to reschedule the what was supposed to be the race of Bruno Brandsatch at Silverstone, so that I don't have to deal with the big ass Silverstone building while pretending that it's the Netherlands. I mean, okay, sure, it wasn't 1980 mod and that was the 1980 mod, but yeah. And then somebody's going to say, but you changed the Nürburgring build, the signs that said Nürburgring to Matarka for the rest of Africa. That's because those were actual textures that I could have edited. The Silverstone thing, I'm pretty sure that's not in the texture files. So the PSSG file that has all the textures of the track.
Full revs. Maximum power.
So instead of being accused of not giving a shit about details, I'm just going to do the logical thing and actually, you know, have the Racing Great Britain at Silverstone and not pretend it's another country. While you know it says, well, other things that I cannot change say differently. At any time, I'm getting ever so close to Sofia. Of course, Mercedes had a big, if you remember, had a big affinity with this track. I'm pretty sure Bottas is the winningest driver here.
The gap to the car in front is less than a second. Let's try and get past in the DRS zone. Okay, you're in his
And there we go, past Sofia, and that was a clean pass. We are in the lead.
Keep the tyres warm. Keep warming the tyres.
Also, yeah, we're actually gonna have only one stop for this race. Yeah, I know, it's amazing. Only one stop. And there's no rain on the horizon, so there's no rain on the forecast, so yeah, this is gonna be smooth sailing, and we got yet another fastest lap. Actually, holy shit, we're just another one at lap 7 already.
In the next few laps.
Although the fuel thing is actually scaring me. But of course, speaking of, there's also retextured versions of Valencia, which is is modified to make it look like it's a Jeddah, and Korea has also been modified to make it look like it's in Mexico City, and either Mexico City or Miami. But of course, I can use either of them because I've used the original Korea track, so yeah, my choices were pretty limited. And also, Valencia is the season finale, so yeah, I only had the Las Vegas, last Sochi as a potential replacement, and as I said, that didn't work, so no replacements. Oh, and also, the same guy. All this change, all these modifications, all these mods have been done by the same guy, Cole Phelps, who also did I just remembered a retextured version of Bud, and made it look like Losail. So, and I have no idea. I don't think there was ever a version. No, actually, I'm going to say I'm sure there's never a version of France, but I'm pretty sure they just reused New Delhi. Anyway, so for the 2022 mod, as stand-in for Paul Ricard.
We think the car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
That minus lap of fuel is seriously scaring me though. And I'm not willing to go to lean mix, and now with Sophia being this close to me. Especially considering this track has some really fucking long straights. I mean, no shit, it's a Hammerjoker track, but still. You know what? Fine. I'll go to lean mix and try to do true block Sophia as much as I can, while trying to save the tires and not drift it like an idiot.
Watch out for the car chasing you. He's less than a second behind and will use DRS to overtake.
Okay.
Should be due to pit within the next 2 laps.
Yeah, Sophia is fast around here. And here comes the other danger section. Still on minus lap of fuel. This one is a long one. And, nope. We somehow managed to survive that. Okay, now we're on optimal. Things will finally start to look good. Oh yeah. Last time we talked about the Arc and Truck race at Daytona. Now it's time to talk about the O'Reilly Series race as well as the Daytona 500. And for the O'Reilly Series, to the surprise and shock of absolutely nobody on the planet, Austin Hill won. And the reactions of the fans were yeah, I already ruined the joke, so yeah, no, of course people were not happy about it. Because once again, Austin Hill won a super speedway race, and nobody even tried to actually taking it away from him. As for the Daytona 500, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That race, at least this year's race, might as well be called Fuck You Steve Phelps. Why? Because Tyler Reddick won the race, and Tyler Reddick, he drives for 2311, the team that just a few months ago tried to kill NASCAR, with the lawsuit. And you want to know who was the last winner, and also 2311, they run Toyotas. And do you want to know who was the last driver who run a Toyota, actually won the 2500 in a Toyota? Yep, that was Denny Hamlin. the owner of said team, they wanted NASCAR dead. And to make matters even better, on pole position on Saturday was Kyle Busch driving for Richard Childress Racing. And if you remember, Steve Phelps and his inner circle called Childress a fucking redneck that if it wasn't for him, he'd be rotting off the street. And you want to know who won the shootout? From Motorsport. I don't remember. I don't know which driver. I'm guessing Michael McDowell. Oh no! Wait. Oh, okay. The first truck series. Oh, okay. No, okay. I get it. Okay. I mean, on pole was also okay. The Xfinity series was won by Childress because Austin was driving for Childress, but on pole position was Kyle Busch, who still drove for Richard Childress. So. And for the track series, Front Row Motorsport won Chandler Smith for Front Row won, who was the other party involved in the lawsuit. So in other words, this whole weekend, this whole Daytona Speed Weeks was basically fuck you Steve Phelps and fuck you NASCAR, because all three teams that hate NASCAR won. So that must have been very, very fun for them to give the trophy to the driver of the team that hears this shit. Like, you cannot make this shit up. Front row motorsports in the truck series, Childress in the O'Reilly, and the 2411 in the Cup series.
Your rear tyres look a little cold. Try to warm them up. We have some spare.
So imagine how static NASCAR higher ups must have been to give trophies to all three of them. Oh, and also to make things even sweeter, all 2311 cars finished in the top 10. Bubba Wallace, I think, finished at 10th, and Riley Herbst, who ended up becoming the key man in Reddick winning the race, I believe he finished something like 7th, 8th, something like that. So, yeah, this Daytona was an interesting affair. Oh yeah, I forgot there's so fucking long the pit. I was at the pit road, no, pit lane, so she was. But yeah, now we don't have to deal with pit stops anymore. It's the only one you have to do today. And, okay. And now that we have one lap of fuel, one plus lap of fuel, I can go back to, now Rich, the standard, there we go.
Ricardo's out in front.
And now I have to wait for Adrian and Christian to get into the pits.
You're on the slower tyre, but you're maintaining the gap to the car ahead, so we're very happy. This is good. We think the car behind
Yeah,
is
shit.
running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
You mean Linda? I mean, she also has to pit, doesn't she? By the way, I don't remember where I put Linda in the language files. I don't remember who I replaced her with. I think it was Button, but I'm actually surprised that, I mean, I say this, but Button didn't kick Magnussen's ass for the entirety of 2014. Magnussen only got that one podium at the first race, and then nothing else. But yeah, I'm surprised that she's actually regularly beating Eric. There we go. Both Adrian and Chris in the pits. And back into the lead we go. None of us surging over Christian, okay, never mind.
DRS is now fixed and available to use.
Okay. So that was an interesting speed weeks, and next week we're going to race at yet another super speedway, even though a mini one at Atlanta. So let's see what's going to happen there. I also have seen a lot of people that, yeah, they were kind of upset about, I mean, I would say upset, but I mean, they were kind of upset for Reddick winning because the end was kind of a shit show. But I've seen a lot of people that were glad that Elliott didn't win, because then his fans would have been annoying 24/7 about it, at least until Atlanta came. To which, yeah, I guess so. But hey, look at the bright side. No more winning, you're in. So Reddick winning. So chances are Reddick might still now make it to the chase. Yeah, but yeah, 2.2 seconds from Christian. So if he is behind. So right now things are going pretty well for me. Christian is in 4th. He's the only one of the top 5 that hasn't. No, the top 5. Actually, no, he's in the top 6. Actually, he's outside the top 5. Wait, hold on a minute. No, okay, he's in the top 5. He's the last of the top 5, and the only one who hasn't broke the triple digits. So right now he's not a threat. Although I would love for him to actually keep Sophia behind as much as he can. I don't know if he can do that job, but let's hope he can.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
I actually, a few hours before recording, I found out that a guy made a mod alongside the group that made the Formula Fantasy 25 mod that basically it's a 2026 mod, and it replaces the car models, the 2025 car models, with custom made models of the 2026 cars. And apparently it's free. It's on their Patreon, but it's apparently free, or at least you don't have to. I don't know how it works, because just give it a quick look, because I'm pretty sure my PC cannot run F125. Plus, you know, the 2026 DLC. I mean, it's gonna take a little while for the 2026 DLC, but still, if people were saying to wait until NASCAR 25 came out, when people were making when people were selling updated to the Camry models for NASCAR Heat 5, and that was like what, 2 years before, even 2 years before NASCAR 25 was even out, like a full year. Why should it be the same for this mod? But I think it's either completely free. I mean, it's either completely free. It's on the Patreon, but I believe you have to. It's free, which either it's a public post, or that is available to anybody, even people that are not subscribed, or you have to subscribe, but the tier is going to be free. But if you can even do free tiers on Patreon, I don't think you can. But I don't know. I never use Patreon because guess what? I'm still too small to actually ask for people to give me money. Plus, in all fairness, I actually have no idea what to put on Patreon anyway. So, yeah. But still, that's a thing, and honestly, I might just download it purely because I'm getting the feeling it's probably gonna get it's probably gonna get struck down by the DMCA by EA because of the 326 DLC. Because unlike Formula Fantasy 25, which is just a reskin, F1 26 actually, you know, tries to it's basically a mod for future content, for future official content, and if I know one thing about Nintendo, at least if I one thing about Nintendo, and if I know one thing from what I've seen, and actually, you know, I should rephrase it more. And if what Nintendo did is anything to go by, chances are it's that thing is gonna be canned, or this thing is gonna be struck down the DMCA. If you don't know what I'm talking about, back at the 45th anniversary of Mario, before that, there was a fan game that was like Mario Bros. 45. And what happened is that Nintendo asked the guy, issued a cease and desist to the guy, and and he was forced to comply. And at the direct of the 35th anniversary of Mario, they announced an exact, basically the exact same game, only official. And also, I remember that was back when Trust into Revelry was being announced. It was going to get translated. Some guys tried to translate before the official release, and NIS America struck them down with a cease and desist because, of course, they were going to translate them because they were going to translate the game. So, yeah, chances are that mod might not last very long because it's trying to anticipate official content. But again, I would love to check it out, but I don't know if my PC can run F1 25. If it does, I'd be honestly surprised.
Your rear tires look a little cold. Try to warm them up. Vettel is 5 seconds behind you. 5 seconds.
In the meantime, past Eli. In the meantime, Christian actually is doing his job at keeping Sophia behind. So he's doing one good thing. At least for now. Also, yeah, but for the NASCAR Heat 5 thing, there was a modder that did custom models for NASCAR. For it was Unity, but it was it was a Unity asset, but because NASCAR Heat 5 is run on Unity, that's basically NASCAR Heat. That was basically NASCAR Heat 5 thing. It cost like $100, and I remember I was at Gary Owen's Discord server before I got kicked. I'm assuming for an activity, and the overall opinion was don't bother with the model. Just wait until NASCAR 25 comes out, unless you really need to. Which is I guess. Well, I'm not gonna say. You know what? I'm not gonna say it. Oh yeah. Speaking of Formula 1 stuff, turns out Barcelona is not going anywhere. He's going to be the track that will rotate alongside Spa. So if you're hoping for Barcelona to go away for good for Formula 1, you're sure of luck. I mean, I was also expecting it to leave the track entirely, the calendar entirely. But nope, it's not. Which now begs the question of what track is new. If Barcelona is not going away, which I thought it was going to, then what tracks are going to be dropped to make space for new ones? Like, for example, what track is going to get dumped to make space for something like the South Africa Grand Prix or the Thailand Grand Prix, if those two actually go if those two go the whole way. All the tracks in the Middle East are definitely definitely no. They give too much money to Formula 1 to be trapped like that. China is also excluded because again they dumped a shit ton of money. And now somebody's gonna say they haven't missed it for the calendar for like 5 years straight. For 4 years straight. Well, guess what? They were the ground zero for the pandemic. So that doesn't count. Monaco, of course, they're not going to drop it. Even though they totally should, but they're not going to because it's Monaco. I don't know. Monza, maybe? But I don't know. I mean, they just dropped Imola. They're not going to drop Monza too. They're never going. Very likely, they're never going to do an alternative thing like they're doing for Spa. Because Spa right now has the and also somebody's going to why do you think Spa? Then what do you think Monza is not gonna get replaced or alternated while Spa is? Well, that's because Spa right now has the stigma of the two deaths that it had of Anton Hubert and Dylan Van Toff in Formula Regional, I think it was. And of course, the complete disaster that was the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix and the PR nightmare that thing was. So I guess by those things, Spa was kind of a liability in many quotation marks. But Monza, right now, nothing bad has really happened. I mean, Okay, there's the crash of that of Alexander Peroni back in 2019, but you know, nothing fatal, no fatal accidents or complete farces. Which is what happened. Which is what happened to Spa. So that's why I think Monza is not gonna be touched at all. Plus also it's with Imola gone, Monza is the only home track for Ferrari. You really think they're going to take that away from them, from Ferrari?
Vettel is 5 seconds behind you. 5 seconds.
I mean, Mercedes having no German Grand Prix, well, okay, I'd say it makes no sense, but of course, no fan base as the fan base of Ferrari. Okay, maybe the Max Verstappen's fans are probably the closest when they come to the Tifosi, but outside of that, that's just for one guy. There's no there are no fans of one team like the Tifosi, and dropping the Italian Grand Prix to be replaced with Kyalami or Bangkok, yeah, no chance, absolutely not. Yeah, sure, it's all about money at the end of the day for Formula One, especially even more nowadays, but still. Plus, Domenicali was the former worked at Ferrari. He was the team principal at Ferrari, so he probably knows it more than anybody else. He knows more than anybody else how he feels. How he feels to get Ferrari the day of the Italian Grand Prix. So I doubt that he's gonna do something as ridiculous as dropping the Italian Grand Prix. But yeah, in the meantime, 6 laps no, 5 laps to go, is it? No, 4 laps to go, yeah. And Ross is doing a pretty good job at still keeping Sophia behind. At least, again, for now. Did I check the tires? Yeah, okay. Nowhere whatsoever. Okay, free to go.
The car behind is dropping back around a half a second a lap.
Okay. The Olympics are going to be done in a week. We are the last week of the Olympics. They're going to end on this Sunday. And I've seen one article in the news, or rather I've seen the news on TV that they pretty much confirmed that the Olympics were a big success, at least the Cortina. Because a few days ago there was Inter Juventus for Serie A, that's for soccer, and Inter Juventus is one of the most important matches in Italian soccer. It's called the Derby of Italy, even though they're not from the same city. Inter is from Milan, Juventus from Turin. but it's one of the most important matches of the of Italian soccer. And a few days afterwards, there was Napoli-Roma, which is for the which is an important championship match, because Napoli and Inter are the two biggest rivals for the title run, alongside AC Milan. And according to this to the reporter at Cortina, no one has watched that match. No one has really given a fuck about those crucial matches. Everybody is focused on the Olympics.
We have a 6-second gap over the car behind. Come on.
Which, of course, it makes sense. I mean, you have the Olympics right at your doorstep. You're going to go check it out. But also, I guess this goes. Can I say that there's like one more lap? I guess this goes to show everybody who didn't want the Olympics, that will believe that once the Olympics are gone, Cortina and or Milan are going to turn into war zones. But again, as I stated plenty of times, this Olympics could have been the summer ones at Rome in 2024, but the mayor of Rome at the time had to be a bitch about it. And I know, somebody's eventually going to mention, yeah, look at Athens. Look at what happened. It's also true that Athens overspent on those Olympics. They had to build a shit ton of stuff they didn't have, while Rome had already plenty of infrastructures that could have been used, or at least the money could have been used to restructure it. And I believe only a very few things should have been, other things had to be properly, had to be built entirely. But we had the stuff to actually, we had the stuff to actually organize the Olympics at Rome. But unfortunately, that ended up not being the case. But guess what? We've announced that with this Olympics. So I guess a win is a win. And speaking of wins, we're about to win the race of Russia. Just up a couple of corners from the finish. Okay. 2 more corners to go. 1 left. And we are going to win the race of Russia.
Congratulations on the win. The whole team's ecstatic. Great driving.
And so, we win the race of Russia. Second is Christian, third is Sofia, so we're gonna gain points on her. Fourth is Serge, fifth is Adrian, and then is Gray, Noel, Al, Ryan, and Linda running at the top 10. Nana finished in 12th. 17 cars in the lead lap. Makoto wins last car for the lead lap cars. Kokoro wins last car overall, and Ren, Phil, Ricard, Eli, and Stay Kokoro all lap down. And now, time for the thumbnail, and then the standings, so see you in a bit. And so we are still leaders of the championship, and are about to hit the 200 points mark. Second is Sofia. Now Serge and Noel are tied on points at 117 for third. Serge is ahead of Noel because Noel finished 7th at the race, while Serge finished 4th. Christian is in 5th. Adrian is in 6th. Gray now gets ahead of Al in his battle for 7th. And after that is Ryan, Linda, Eric, Nana, and Madison running at the point scorers. For the next race, we are not gonna go away from the Formula Iron Curtain because next up we got the race of Hungary. So let's see what's going to happen there. Qualifying is going to be crucial, so let's hope for a good result there. But for this video, this is going to be it. If you liked it, give it a like. If you see more content like this, hit subscribe and click the notification bell to get the next drops. And I have nothing else to say other than see you next video, everybody. This is Alpha, signing out.